So my project is called Following the Monk Seal, and thanks to a scholarship by 𝗽𝗿𝗁𝗁𝗁 visiting creative, I had the opportunity to follow some researchers who study these incredible animals, the Mediterranean monk seal. This is just a quick overview of what I'm going to tell you today. A quick word about these animals. They are one of the most endangered pinnipeds in the world, and you can find monk seals only in the Mediterranean and in Hawaii. So there is an interesting connection between two very far away parts of the world. And in the Mediterranean, they are studied in Greece and outside the coasts of Western Africa. And they are not easy to meet if you live by the Mediterranean. It's something that maybe you hear of, but because of exploitment, it's very hard to meet them in most places, except for these areas where they still reproduce and they use the habitat to raise their pups. So I had the opportunity, thanks to Luigi Bundone, who studies them. Dr. Luigi Bundone is from Italy, and he collaborates with 𝗽𝗿𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, who is the project coordinator for this research project in 𝗃𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, Greece, that I had the opportunity to collaborate with. So I had been collaborating with Dr. Bundone for a few years and hearing his stories about Mediterranean monk seals and in particular of their habitat, because these animals need specific sea caves to be able to raise their pups. Since these pups, when they are born, they're not able to swim. These sea caves need a little bit of beach at the end of the cave, where it's protected from the tide and where the pup can slowly, gradually get into the water and back on the beach and gradually learn to swim. Unfortunately, these habitats are quite rare. I mean, you can find them, but there is a lot of humans around most of the time around the Mediterranean now, so it's not very easy for these seal moms to find them and raise their pups there. But in 𝗃𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, there are quite few of these habitats, and the seals use them regularly. So that's where 𝗃𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 has been studying them for years, and Dr. Luigi Bundone has been collaborating with her. And I had this fantastic opportunity, thanks to 𝗃𝗿𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁, after listening to Luigi's stories about the seals for years and writing a little bit of music about them and about the stories. I finally had the opportunity to actually join him and Narici and be on the field with them. This happened back in October. So I'm just gonna share a little bit of the timeline here. This time that I spent in Greece was incredibly inspiring. I had the opportunity to actually visit these very atmospheric places, which are these grottos. And I also had the opportunity to take part in the active side of research and just assisting, of course, but being there and seeing how the process works from a scientific point of view. And ultimately, I also had the opportunity to be in the same space as these animals, which was very powerful. I just wanted to share a little bit about the seals, because this fascination, maybe it was very, of course, it was very important to meet Luigi and to hear about the Mediterranean monk seals. But one of the processes that I have been through, thanks to this mentorship program, is that I have been wondering how much talking about these animals can be inspiring in a sense of searching a practical connection with them, because they are so rare. It's not easy to see them. And of course, one of the points of taking care of them is to leave them the space they need to be at peace, not to stress. So I realized that something that has been very important for me is to share space also with other seals that are not under the same amount of pressure. And with which I could actually be in the same space without being worried about stressing them. And these seals were the resident harbor seals at the Sitka Center for Art and Ecology in Oregon, where I had the lucky opportunity to be a resident for a couple of times, and where I actually had the opportunity to be in the same space as seals on a daily basis and observe them and actually learn to consider them as neighbors. because we had the opportunity to share days and spaces on a daily basis. So the arrow in the picture shows you where the seals would usually howl out. So it was very easy to see them and to be with them in the same space. And that feeling of connection and of familiarity is something that I would really love to highlight, because despite it's hard to have the same feeling with an endangered species that, of course, needs a very important amount of care and also distance in some way. That's my hope, is that we can somehow find that kind of connection, that kind of familiarity with species that maybe are closer to us, that are part of our ecosystems on our daily lives. And that's something that I would like to ignite through the music that I composed thanks to this project. So after I came back from Catalonia, I started my composition work. I write for cello and voice, and I decided that I would go in the direction of writing a suite of songs. And suites are quite dear to the cello repertoire, and I'm very inspired by them because they are pieces made by different songs that have different characters to them. So there is a diversity in suites. They are meant for dancing, even though in the classical world this function has been lost. I would like to find that back again in my work. And something also that I find very inspiring in this genre of music is that it's quite playful. It can be quite lively, and somehow it feels like it can push you toward up from your chair and maybe inspire some sort of action, enthusiasm. And I really wanted to take that from the classical genre and bring it into my work. So the Seal Suite is going to be and is a collection of songs, but they are not completely written down. Taking inspiration from my experience in the field, my experience sharing spaces with seals, I want to leave space in each movement for some sort of improvisation. And at the same time, I would really love to leave some freedom to the musicians who are going to play this suite, which may not just be me. And so there will be a prompt and the opportunity to improvise from that prompt in each movement. So today I would really love to invite you to try out this process with me. I understand that we are very far away from each other, and I have never done this online. So this is pure experimentation, which is absolutely in the seal spirit. That's how I received it, at least. One of the principles that I felt inspired by the seals about is that to maybe very complex problems, we may need a very playful spirit to look for solutions. And that's what I want to invite you to do. So I will propose an interaction. I'm going to play some music to you. I'm going to invite you to join me in a little journey. I'm going to play a little bit of the prelude, which in the spirit of the Seal Suite, I recorded about an hour ago, just for you. This version is for you today. And then we're going to listen a little bit to the element of the suite, which is a song about the grotto. So we're going to go for a hike and we're going to reach a grotto together, and we're going to be in the grotto for a little bit. And the recording that I share of the song is from a very recent performance that I gave in the UK. And you will hear sounds that sound like the sea, but they're actually people who are making sea sounds accompanying the song. And you're very welcome to join them and to make your own sea sound and kind of contribute, creating that feeling of being in a grotto together. We're gonna hike down from a cliff onto the water. Can you let me know if you can hear the music? It's so hot, and there is smell of beautiful herbs. It feels like we are in an oven and we're cooking up like this. It's so beautiful. And as we go down, it's olive trees, it's cypresses, and there is this glittering sun over this huge sea, huge water with silhouettes of islands in the horizon. And we go down and we go down and we reach flowers, a lot of birds, and then we reach down to a huge beach. And on this beach, the steps change because it's soft ground filled with water. And at the same time, there is the sea coming and going on our side, and we and from the beach, we reach some big rocks. And that we can't step and we have to climb a little bit. Down, up, and down, and the sea is still going on our side. And we climb a little bit more, and suddenly in front of us is just rock. And now I ask you, imagine something that you take from your environment, from your existence, something that is dear to your heart, and you take it and you keep it with you. Just hold it in your head, in your thoughts, and put it in your brains. Don't put it in your pockets because you have to speak them. We are in our bathing suits, and we lie under the rock. And suddenly, we are not in the sun anymore. And all that is there with you is the sound of the sea that comes and goes. And it's dark. It's dark. And we are in the grotto.